check out this backyard. How would you like this in your yard? So we're at Chris and Denise's house. We are taking a look at their grain bin and their elevator. So this whole backyard is massive amount of flowers. There's about 115 Wave Petunias in that elevator going up, but their whole yard they use about 2,000 Wave Petunias all over. It's an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful backyard. So let's go take a look. So you can see this whole elevator has about 115 petunias, and they're in boxes. So they're pretty good sized boxes that are deep, so there's a lot of soil. And he places those boxes here after they're planted, and there's soaker hoses going up and down. So the watering isn't as bad as what you would think, because that's getting pretty high up there. Some really bad weather here recently, so Chris said, oh, I wish you would have come last week. This foliage and the flowers were about twice as full. So they really got hammered with some bad weather and some hail. But you can see it's coming right back, and they had some straight line winds that flopped this over, but it still looks great, and it probably looks better than most other people's yards on a bad day. So it's really impressive to see. But that's one of the things that they fought is the bad weather early on in spring. They had 9.5 inches within 2 weeks time. It can really take its toll, but the flowers can come back and can perform strongly well into the fall, and even right down to that frost time. Petunias can handle down to about 26 degrees. So there's a lot of life and a lot of time yet to enjoy these flowers. Let's go take a look at some of the other places throughout this yard. So this is one of the shaded areas in their yard, and they really have been loving the Impatiens. And this is their first year with Impatiens, and look how full they are. Even with some deer coming along and munching them. Remember, Impatiens like being trimmed up a little bit, and that's one of the best things you can do for your Impatiens is give them a little haircut right in the beginning, and they really fill out. So you can see how full these Impatiens are. They're doing great in the shaded area. Now, Impatiens do need shade because they will go through a lot of water, and they will really droop down if they get into that sunshine. So this is a new area that Chris had built a deck on here. All of his 2,000 flowers he is starting off from seed in this little greenhouse. And he decided to cover this area in flowers. It just dresses this whole area up. They're mostly containers, and these Impatiens we were talking about, we had an area of shaded. These Impatiens are in the sun, but they're sun Impatiens, so they do well and they are thriving in that sunshine. So make sure that you pay attention to your varieties so they go in the proper spot and getting the care that they need. And you can see that there are some ornamental peppers that they're growing. This is for their fall decorations. Now Chris said that Denise really spruces this place up for fall, which is hard to imagine it being even more decorated, but that's what they're growing down here to transition into that fall decoration time. This is another little shaded area, and just when you think you've seen all the little nooks and crannies in this yard, you discover another one. So again, there's more Impatiens and some coleus on this side, and some grasses, and even some petunias. And we'll go through and just keep taking you to all these little areas that you can see them. Now, you don't need all different varieties of flowers. You can see how well that they really stitch this yard together with a lot of the same plants and flowers. I'll bet you've never seen a manure spreader look like this. This vintage manure spreader, again, it's very easy. It's all Wave Petunias, some king tut grass, and some spillers in the front, some vines trailing down, and it just really sets off the scene for when you first pull into their driveway, and just all these little scenes all over the yard. Chris is really proud of this one. This is a new addition this year, but he just took some wagon wheels and then made up some planter boxes and just filled them up. And again, we have the Impatiens, we have some juncus coming up, some ivy trailing down, almost like a flowering Ferris wheel. How would you like this in your backyard? And if you have a farming theme, you have to have a windmill, and it just really completes this with the little field of flowers here. So I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of this yard, and you can see that it takes a lot of work and a lot of diligence. So I hope we've given you some inspiration as to what your yard can look like, but it can be done. You can have a yard that looks just incredible. And this grain bin, if you want to check this out, we have a video where we show the inside of this. If you're liking our videos, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of helpful how-to videos there. And then head on over to our beatyourneighbor.com website for tips and tricks in our blog articles, and of course our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, which is why these flowers look like they do. And you can find that all at beatyourneighbor.com. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.